What if the world's strongest warrior was forced to train the weakest human for a fight that could change everything? The movie begins with a powerful alien warrior who has already saved the universe, now stuck living a peaceful life on Earth, surrounded by friends and comfort, yet completely unsatisfied with the calm. Despite having defeated a massive threat and recovered a powerful emerald, he finds himself bored, restless, and craving the thrill of battle once again, unable to adapt to a life without conflict. While his friends encourage him to relax and enjoy normal life, he struggles deeply with the idea of abandoning his warrior identity, constantly searching for purpose in a world that no longer needs saving. As time passes, his frustration grows more intense, and even simple situations turn into imagined threats, leading him to attack harmless workers out of pure instinct. This causes chaos in the household, forcing his friends to step in and remind him that the war's over. Still, he cannot accept this reality. In an attempt to reclaim control and meaning, he transforms the house into a mock battlefield, declaring himself leader and demanding challenges, pushing everyone's patience to the limit until he is finally punished and isolated for his behavior. While locked away, he experiences a powerful vision of his past, where a spiritual leader from his tribe appears before him and questions his purpose now that his mission is complete. The answer shocks him. His journey isn't over. Instead of fighting, he must now pass on his legacy by training a new warrior. He is given a name, a weak, unremarkable human who seems completely unfit for such a task, yet is destined to compete in a major tournament. Without hesitation, the warrior accepts this new mission. Meanwhile, this so-called chosen apprentice is struggling in his own life, lacking confidence and constantly being overlooked, even replaced by a child in his own team due to his weakness. When the alien warrior suddenly appears and declares that he will train him, the human sees it as an opportunity to prove himself and reclaim his dignity. What begins as a strange partnership quickly becomes a journey filled with intense training, awkward moments, and the beginning of a transformation neither of them fully understands yet. But as they begin their journey, they unknowingly attract dangerous attention. A secret organization tracking alien beings sees an opportunity to capture the warrior and exploit his immense power. Armed with advanced technology, two agents ambush them, turning a simple training session into a chaotic battle. Despite being outmatched by their weapons, the warrior's experience allows him to hold his ground until he is suddenly trapped and captured, leaving his untrained human apprentice alone to face a terrifying situation. With no real skills and barely any courage, the human makes a desperate decision to rescue his mentor, using stolen technology he barely understands. His attempt goes horribly wrong, causing explosions and chaos, but through pure luck and determination, he manages to infiltrate the enemy's base. In a surprising turn, he actually succeeds in freeing the warrior, and together they escape, forming a stronger bond as they realize they must rely on each other to survive what's coming next. As they continue their journey, the stakes grow even higher when the human discovers he is now being hunted by authorities, forcing him to abandon his normal life completely. With nowhere else to go, he returns to his family, where unresolved tensions and painful memories resurface. His relationship with his sister is strained, filled with resentment and comparison, while his mother tries to hold the family together, creating an emotional environment that challenges him in ways no physical battle ever could. That night, danger strikes again as a group of bounty hunters attacks the house, seeking the reward placed on the human's head. What follows is a chaotic and intense fight where the warrior showcases his true strength, protecting the family and defeating the attackers with overwhelming power. Despite the destruction, the moment brings the family closer together, reminding the human of what he is fighting for and strengthening his resolve to continue his journey. However, the next challenge forces him to stand on his own. When he is suddenly captured by someone he once trusted, a former friend, he realizes that betrayal cuts deeper than any enemy attack. Locked in a cage and facing the reality that no one is coming to save him, he is pushed into a mental and emotional battle unlike anything before, forced to confront his fears, doubts, and weaknesses head-on. Inside his subconscious, guided once again by the spiritual force of the warrior's tribe, he undergoes a bizarre yet meaningful transformation, facing symbolic challenges that represent his inner struggles. And right here, if you were in his position, completely alone and betrayed, what would you do? Would you give up or fight your way out no matter the cost? This moment becomes the turning point that defines who he truly is. Through determination and a newfound understanding of himself, he finally breaks free, not just physically but mentally, proving that he is no longer the weak, insecure person he once was. He defeats his captor in a dramatic showdown and returns stronger, earning the respect of his warrior mentor, who now truly believes in his potential. For the first time, he is no longer just a student, he is becoming a warrior. Together, they arrive at the long-awaited tournament, where everything has been building toward this moment. For the human, this isn't just a competition, it's a chance to prove himself to the world and to his father, a legendary figure who once abandoned him. The emotional weight of this encounter is heavy, as he comes face to face with the man he has admired and resented his entire life. As the tournament progresses, the human begins to shine, surprising everyone with his skill and determination. Yet his father continues to overshadow him, refusing to acknowledge his growth and treating him as nothing more than a joke. Despite this, he pushes forward, driven by a need to prove that he is no longer the same person who was left behind. But just when things seem to improve, everything falls apart again. In a shocking twist, his father betrays him, revealing that he values his reputation more than his own family. By threatening his loved ones, he forces the human into an impossible decision: sacrifice his mentor or lose everything. It is a devastating moment that tests his loyalty, courage, and identity all at once. Despite appearing to comply, the human secretly devises a plan, warning his mentor of the trap and setting the stage for a final confrontation. What follows is an explosive battle where enemies fall into their own schemes, and the warrior proves once again why he is so feared, overcoming overwhelming odds and standing victorious alongside his student. With the enemies temporarily defeated, they rush back to the tournament just in time for the final match. The human stands face to face with his father, the tension between them reaching its peak as everything they've been through leads to this one decisive moment. It is no longer just about winning, it's about identity, respect, and closure. In a dramatic and intense showdown, the human gives everything he has, refusing to back down despite the pressure. Against all expectations, he succeeds, landing the final strike and securing victory in front of everyone who once doubted him. It is a moment of triumph that proves his transformation is complete. But just as victory is achieved, chaos erupts once again as a new enemy attacks, using advanced technology to overpower the warrior and drain his energy completely. With his mentor seemingly defeated, the human is forced to step forward one last time, using everything he has learned to fight back against an enemy far beyond his level. Armed with nothing but determination and improvised weapons, he launches a desperate counterattack, buying time as the warrior slowly regains his strength. The battle intensifies as the enemy unleashes devastating attacks, pushing both of them to their limits. In a powerful moment, the warrior rises again, reclaiming his energy and unleashing his full power in a final, overwhelming strike that destroys the enemy once and for all, bringing the chaos to an end. In the aftermath, the human stands victorious, not just as a champion of the tournament, but as someone who has finally proven his worth to himself and those around him. Surrounded by his family and his mentor, he celebrates the journey that transformed him from weak and overlooked into someone truly strong, while his enemies lie defeated and his place in the world finally secured. If you enjoyed this epic journey, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you never miss another recap, drop your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more incredible stories right here.